Welcome friends to the 2025 Toyota Grand Highlander review. We have here the limited Nightshade trim level, the Nightshade that is all new for 2025, and we do get some blacked out accents on the exterior, and we also get these very nice looking 20-inch gloss black wheels. And also new for 2025, it's this new cement exterior color. This color looks great in direct sunlight because you get this golden hue, this golden metallic hue. Absolutely love that. But this quick review, I'm going to do this in a pros and cons style. And really, I only have one true con regarding this vehicle. I'm going to save that more towards the end, but right now let's get into some of these driving aspects. This SUV, it is quiet, comfortable, smooth, easy to drive. You know, busting a U-turn is rather easy in this large SUV. And I also forgot to mention that this is the hybrid powertrain. So we have a combined total system output of 245 horsepower. And this hybrid system, it is rather smooth, no issues. Gets 35 in the city, 31 out on the highway. One subtle thing that I can bring up, it is the brakes. Honestly, the braking performance is fine. It's just that the brakes do require a bit more travel, okay, to get the stopping performance that you want. Not really a big deal. I'm not going to label that as a con. I just thought I would bring that up. But you know, your everyday left-hand, right-hand turns, this SUV, it handles that perfectly. Nobody is flipping or flopping all over the place. I also like the steering weight. It's on the lighter side, but it feels really appropriate for this SUV. In fact, the steering has improved compared to the 2024 limited hybrid Grand Highlander that I got to review. In that review, I said the steering was a bit light and a bit loose, but here, not so. It's a bit tighter here. Perhaps that's a 2025 thing or it's a Nightshade thing. I'm not really sure. Toyota never really discloses those subtle updates. But regardless, everything feels great regarding the drive. I am pleased with the overall highway performance. This SUV, it continues to be rather quiet. These tires are also helping out as well. These Yokohama Geolanders, very low rolling resistance, and it's just quiet all the time. In the city, on the highway, no issues. At really, really high speeds, you can notice a subtle nervousness with this Grand Highlander, but not a big deal because most people, how are they going to be driving this? Pretty calm, pretty sedate, you know, 75, 80 mile per hour driving. You're totally fine with this. So again, not going to label that as a huge con. But yeah, if you want, you know, supreme handling, you would have to go with something like a Honda Pilot with the all-wheel drive, or even a CX-90 Mazda. I'm pleased with this for everyday driving, especially considering how compliant this is. With this limited, we do have the double pane glass being used on the driver's side, or like the front two windows here. So that also contributes to the lower noise and the lower wind noise that we're getting. But how's the speed? Well, it's totally effortless for everyday driving. Okay, even out on the highway, if you need to pass someone, you have enough thrust available to you. Again, nothing earth-shattering. In fact, this makes 20 less horsepower than the pure gas turbocharged four-cylinder Grand Highlander. Those vehicles, they produce 265 horsepower, and they're like a few tenths of a second quicker from 0 to 60. They're all about the same, but I just thought I would bring that up. Most importantly though, this engine, it is not obnoxious. This is a rather smooth tone. So driving's good. Now let's talk about the interior space. Being that this is the limited Nightshade, this comes really well equipped. We have the heated and cooled seats. As an option, you can get the 360 camera, which you could label that as a con. With the limited trim level, I think the 360 camera, it should just come standard. Because, you know, this is quite high up there in the totem pole, but you know, whatever. We do have the 360 camera here. It is quite useful, very clear, very crisp, and I do appreciate the infotainment system here. That's also easy to use. We have the wireless Apple CarPlay and the wireless Android Auto. All of that works seamlessly, and because this is the limited, we have the JBL audio system. Sounds fantastic. Interior space, overall, it is pretty solid. The overall design is pretty generic, but it's a simple, intuitive, and ergonomic interior space, so I don't really care. I absolutely love the physical controls for your HVAC. Brilliant. I find these seats to be rather comfortable as well, and you have plenty of lumbar support for the driver. Keep in mind, with this limited Nightshade, the only interior color you can get is black. A subtle con I can bring up regarding the interior would be the digital gauge cluster. It does take some getting used to. Not a big deal. Once you set it, you can forget it. But the true highlight and the big pro regarding this interior is the sheer amount of space that we have here. You have plenty of cubby spaces, storage, and the legroom in all 3 rows. It is phenomenal. I am 5'11". First of all, getting in and out of this SUV, that's not a challenge. I have plenty of space to sit behind myself, and even with the seat pretty much all the way back regarding the second row, because the second row seats, you can manipulate them both forward and back. You can also recline them. With the second row all the way back, I mean, I can still fit in the third row of this vehicle. And if you bring up the second row up just a bit, you have even more space in the third row. So that means kids can easily fit in the third row of this SUV. And this doesn't even sacrifice the trunk space either. Even with all 3 rows up, I mean, the trunk space is reasonable. As a overall practical package, this Grand Highlander, I mean, it's such a winner. Keep in mind though, the pure gas model, an equivalent limited all-wheel drive pure gas, it's going to get like what, 21 city, 26 highways. If you're doing predominantly highway driving, there's not a huge benefit going with the regular hybrid like you see here. Okay, now what is the one true con that I have regarding this SUV, this hybrid Grand Highlander? Well, it's going to be the lack of deals. Your best case scenario with the hybrid Grand Highlanders, it's going to be paying full MSRP. The interest rate for these SUVs, it is not good. For 60 months, as of right now, May of 2025, it's like 5.99%. This vehicle, it stickers for $57,000. You plop all of that into a calculator, you put no money down. In a state like Pennsylvania, these things, they're going to be financing out for like $1,200 a month with no money down. That is not cool. Otherwise, this was genuinely a flawless product. This is so good, so well thought out. I love driving this SUV, but the lack of deals, discounts, incentivized interest rates, that really hurts the value proposition here. And actually the 5.99%, that is the incentivized interest rate, mind you, for people who have perfect credit. That's just unacceptable to me. And the lease programs on this stuff, not that great either. Now, thankfully, I do have a resource that I can share with you to help save some money on the pure gas Grand Highlander. Keep that in mind. The pure gas models with the turbocharged 4-cylinder engine, you can save about $4,000 to $5,000 off the MSRP of those models. How can you do that? You can reach out to Jim, who is one of the largest Toyota brokers in the United States. He's got partner dealerships in both Pennsylvania and in California. He does offer nationwide shipping, but shipping is something you have to pay extra for. When you build a limited trim level pure gas Grand Highlander on Toyota's website, it's just going to naturally be about $3,000 to $4,000 cheaper than the hybrid version. So that's a savings right there. Then you tack on the $4,000 to $5,000 off on top of that. I mean, now you're saving about 7 G's compared to these hybrids. Plus, as of right now, May of 2025, the pure gas models actually come with a better interest rate than the hybrids. It's like 4.99% for 60 months. So all of these savings, they just stack on top, and it just makes the pure gas model a much better value than these hybrids. But keep in mind, if you are going to work with Jim, he does charge a broker fee to access his deals. Sometimes he incorporates his broker fee into the deal and into the discount already, but I just wanted to bring that to your attention. He did say that if you text him and you mention my channel, Main Motor Group, he did say that he'll take some money off of his broker fee, and I really appreciate him doing that for my audience, because Jim does genuinely have some of the best Toyota pricing in the entire country. Not to mention, he's saving you time, saving you headache, because a lot of these local dealerships that you're going to be working with, they love to tack on all kinds of junk fees like tint fees, nitrogen fees, etc. With Jim's partner dealerships, you don't have to worry about that or worry about any inflated dealer fees either. So definitely a blessing. And I just wanted to share Jim with you as a resource. Once again, if you want to see his reviews, you can go to the Leasehackr forum. But to get in contact with him, he just has a phone number. You simply text him the vehicle that you want, where you're going to register the vehicle, the model, trim level, how many miles you drive, etc. So you can get the ball rolling as quickly as possible. But the Grand Highlander, absolutely love it. Such a great practical package. I will mention one last thing if you care. The hybrids actually tow a bit less, like 3,500 pounds, versus the pure gas models and the Performance Hybrid Max. Both of those can actually tow 5,000 pounds. You know, most people who are interested in towing, I'm guessing they're going to get like a Tahoe or a Suburban or even the Sequoia. You know, the Sequoia does tow quite a bit if you're able to make the trunk space work out for you and your family. That's another vehicle that has substantial discounts with Jim. And a competing product that I really like, it's going to be the Honda Pilot. So the Pilot is another 3-row SUV where I can fit in all 3 rows. Plus it drives great, and much like this Grand Highlander, I don't really have too many issues with it. So the GH and the Pilot, these are, in my opinion, 2 of the best 3 rows out there. If you found value with this content, make sure to like and subscribe. Thank you again for watching. Take care and goodbye.